Hello everyone and welcome. Herewith I give you 4 reasons why the war between Russia and Ukraine cannot be stopped right now. Although we all want the war to end, and stable peace will help everyone on this planet. Stable peace in Europe and everywhere else, Middle East and other parts of the world that are suffering, people suffering from the war. I will give you these reasons because I'm born in Soviet Union and I'm Canadian for many years, more than 35 years, but I was born in Soviet Union and I, more or less escaped Soviet Union before it broke. So I know a little bit about the state of mind of people there and the root of the problem that is very ancient. So stay tuned, sign in, and get some perspective from the first hand, not from someone from Australia or somewhere else, but from a person who knows details and experience herself. I experienced myself the conflict that was there for centuries. Let's explore into the first reason. After the fall of Soviet Union, everyone hoped that democracy will replace that corruptive and in many ways utopical idea of everyone is equal, everyone gets equal pay, and if you don't agree, they will just, Siberia and so forth. So while there was this hope, as soon as Soviet Union was demolished, so to speak, a situation was very much aggravated by not just separation. There were 15 Soviet republics, and the separation between them, everyone wants to have their own state, was not equal and was absolutely not fair, and very much so to advantage of one country, which is Russia, and disadvantage to everyone else who are 14 other republics. Some republics in the West, Baltic states, were small and was easier for them because it's easier to be one nation if you're small. So luckily they with time became members of members of European Union and members of NATO. However, the other ones had different fate. Ukraine and Belarus is a different positions. Ukraine had a third arsenal of atomic bombs that were in any country. So first was America, second Russia after separation, third was Ukraine. However, Ukraine gave up their atomic weapons to say to the whole world, listen, we are very humanistical, we are very peaceful, we want peaceful and prosperous life. But the world is not such, and who cared, right? But the thing is that they did not give their weapons to US, or they did not destroy it, they gave it to Russia, with whom they were at war for 600 years or more. And that's the first problem. The second problem was that the Soviet Union built together. All 15 republics built the oil empire, so to speak. Soviet Union was oil empire. Sorry, someone is power washing outside, so all windows are closed, but you can still probably hear it. Anyways, So these oil developments, Russia took to herself and cut off the other republics that were part of it. It was on territory of huge territory that Russia took after the separation, and all the oil developments were on these territories. However, these were not achievement of Russia. There were achievements of all republics, all 15 republics' effort. That's the thing too, right? So Russia became superpower because atomic weapons were not second in the world now after US. They were first because they added Ukrainian atomic weapons. And they became huge super empire because of oil that they just took from others as well. In my opinion, would be good, and there will be peace if these oil development the profits will be divided between 15 republics since today, still today, and atomic weapons will be destroyed, and there won't be atomic weapons anywhere in the world because there won't be that chantage that is continuing. So this is how it was, and you know, world is not fair. And if between two parties one wins because of luck, that was lucky for Russia, they sometimes no. Sometimes people understand that they're pure luck and be very generous about it, but sometimes people want more. You know, there is a Pushkin fairy tale that this old woman who wanted a little help of repairing her house, having a washing machine and so forth, because her old man caught a golden fish that realized every wish. So with time, that old woman wanted to be not just the queen of the sea and earth, she wanted to be the queen of universe, and she failed. However, in fairy tale, she failed, but in real life, no, it's not. It's different. So people who just had this luck, good luck, I would say for them, bad luck for everyone else in Soviet republics, they wanted more. They wanted more and more and more and more and more. They wanted to control all the other republics that went bankrupt after the collapse of Soviet Union. They wanted to dictate them what to do, and so forth. With Ukraine, it's more difficult. It's more historically charged, and this is why the war has very, very deep roots. This is my opinion about oil and atomic weapons. I didn't hear it anywhere else. Too bad that people don't talk about it, because it's the root of many problems. Maybe if you tell Russian people that, listen, count your blessings, you got oil that did not belong to you completely. Only 1/15th part belonged to you, but you took it and you prosper from it. You took atomic weapons and now you call yourself a superpower, although superpower is supposed to keep peace, not to invade neighbors and so forth. Maybe they don't know how lucky they are, and maybe someone else to tell them, remember that fairy tale of Pushkin, so don't be like that old woman. That might help. In my opinion, they're always like, you know, in any religion, repent and you will be saved. There's always a chance for to be repented, to be saved by your own realizing of what was going on. However, it's not happening. I will tell you why the war in Ukraine will not end soon, although I hope it will end sometime. The solution to the war, Russia war against Ukraine, has to come from people who are citizens of Russia. The history of Russia demonstrates that no matter how harsh it was for them, they always blame outside forces that were guilty of it. It's very easy to blame someone else. It's human nature. While there's a lot of evidence that they have lots of blessings, they have lots of luck, luck, and also their behavior toward their neighbors, because they are in conflict with every neighbor around them. Still, they don't see their own problem inside. They allow themselves to be ruled by someone who represents their own inner self. So these tsars or this KGB person, they represent something inside of those people, because the war marked the end of something that is coming. It's solar fusion that is coming from the science world pretty soon, not pretty soon, maybe 20, 30 years, we won't need oil. And because we'll take energy from the sun, people feel it, or maybe AI, coming AI, people are confused, and people always look for enemy somewhere else outside themselves. Let's say people have too much weight, or people can't put themselves together to make good money or something else, or learn a profession, and people always blame someone else who have difficulties overcome their own problem. And with Russian people, making war trends, it's very historically right for them, because they remember it by movies and propaganda. It's huge in Russia and Soviet Union. Stalin spent trillions of dollars that he got from trading oil and everything else, and gold, for propaganda. No one. Leni Riefenstahl is just one person compared to army of poets, movie makers, writers that work for propaganda in Soviet Union. And that propaganda roots very, very deep inside people. People actually love that struggle. People love to struggle, to come together as nation, because it makes you stronger. One person is nothing, but together very strong, in front of danger. Now, we see, you and me see that danger from Ukraine never came. Ukraine never in history, and so today as well, was not threat to neighbors. But they invented sort of this enemy because it suits not only ruler, but it suits also people, because people love to have enemy to struggle, to overcome, to be in a constant, confused state of fighting someone inside. Lots of them cannot fight it, cannot fight their poverty, cannot fight their addictions. Lots of them have addictions and so forth. It's easier to fight outside enemy, even if it's a ghost enemy, it doesn't exist. This is why I don't see the end of this war, because I would say it's in very dark way fun for them to have outside enemy and fight it together. Give something to do, because otherwise they cannot influence their own life. This was the second reason why I don't see the end of this war. The third reason why this war will not end soon. historic path of Slavic people is very difficult. I wouldn't say unfortunate, it's just historically very difficult. It is the nation that is in between East and West, Slavic nation in between East and West, but for many historical reasons and war ideas, all Earth was in war to conquer each other. However, Russia really made a progress because it conquered 1/6 of the solid Earth on Earth. And it's not Slavic nation anymore, of course. Russians, they talk to call themselves almost 200 nations. And you can describe them as a very unique sort of people that fight their own enemies outside themselves, having too many problems within families, within themselves. They don't know how to solve these problems because state is built this way that you cannot solve it. Nowadays, 21st century, Western world wanted to help, wanted to trade with them, wanted to show them good example how you do things, how you trust your trade partner, how you open up for global economy. Global economy failed and a big deal, and we know that it doesn't work the way it was used to be. Now the whole world needs to be reformed. However, it didn't work because what happens between Russian and European East Union, they took the money, yeah, they traded, they took the money from them, from European Union, but hated them because they're different. European Union people totally different. They have different mentality, a different view of what is freedom. Totally different view. I'm not here to discuss which view is right, which is wrong, but different. So they were very angry, Russian people, and hated the way Western lived, how we traded with them because they wanted money. This is something that is very unique. Because if you trade with someone, you don't have to love everyone else, but you give them respect because they pay you. But there were no inside respect. Inside their soul, inside their being, there was huge disrespect and huge disregard for the ways Western society is built. So that was used by ruler to actually say aloud what everyone else in Russia was thinking or talking with their close friends and so forth, family. So this is why the ruler didn't came just out of nowhere. The ruler was using what was already there. The rulers always do, especially those who manipulate people. So with the Eastern world, they could not also trade fairly because there's such huge part of Japanese territory that they didn't give back to Japan. There's huge problems with China because some Chinese, I would say China also has lots of nations, right? But not Russian territory is still occupied by Russia, where they have border with China and so forth with others, as well as other Eastern Soviet republics that were robbed by them after Soviet Union collapsed, also have very reserved and not happy relationship that is boiling inside, but nothing can be done because these states are very, how to say, they have little armies, they are not rich, they're not strong to fight Russia. So they try to bear what comes from Russia, and one day it probably will change, but how, we don't know. We will see if we live that long. However, I see that This is a very, very huge root of the problem that is inside of Russian mentality. If you trade with someone, you respect them. You don't have to like them, you don't have to follow the rules of life, but you respect how they live, and you respect them because you take their money. And this is inner honesty and inner honor, I would say, inner feeling. If you respect others, how they live, you will be it's somehow you will be allowed by yourself to live as you want. But that trust was broke, that trust wasn't there. This is the third reason why I see this war will never end, because they don't know how to trade in contemporary world. They still trade the way it was like Middle Ages, that you hate everyone around you, everyone who is not like you are your enemies. That's what needs to be changed, but it had no change. It had no chance to change it, and I believe it will not be changed soon. Now let's come to the fourth reason why I see that the end of the war is not visible in nearest future. There are historical reasons why Russia could not stop fighting throughout its history, and you know it if you watch my videos. This reason is not much different from other countries in previous centuries, but it is different now. Some countries are still doing this. Pirates who stop trades, you know, in Middle East and so forth, they do the same thing. They still have a mentality of Middle Ages, unfortunately. But there is another reason why this particular war cannot end. And this reason of territory, of expanding territory. It's also mentality of Middle Ages, unfortunately. So the set of mind that if I can take it. If not, I would never take anyone else's things. But they feel like if they can, they have this power. It's very, very difficult for normal people to see. Because we understand that they fight Ukraine with Ukrainian weapons mostly that was given to them from Ukraine. It's very difficult that after Chernobyl, huge tragic accident that Soviet Union did, they still take atomic power plants from Ukraine. It's very painful to see that they want to destroy a neighbor who is smaller than them, way more peaceful, way more. Ukraine is still not a European set of mind, but way more European than Russian set of mind, but it's still not European. However, it's very painful to see that they wanted to take the land, although they have lots of land themselves. It's painful to see that they want to take the land that is prime land of different country, but for some reason these people, they won't develop even this land in this generation. They don't have money for that, but for some reason the ruler can tell the people that it's for your future children. I invade other country. It's very painful to see that this set of mind is still possible in our time. And it's painful to see that half of the Ukrainian population is still now scattered everywhere else. They can't live in their own country. The reason is just greed, just pure greed. This is why this war cannot be stopped, because Ukraine is too much of a you know, forbidden, beautiful climate, rich soil, huge amount of land, and it's very sad to see. And I think that it's much deeper problem that in former Yugoslavia. This problem is much more complex, and to solve it, it is impossible. We cannot place history back. If Ukraine would keep the atomic weapons, maybe Russia won't be able to attack. If Ukraine will not have their government corrupted and half of the government, even more, working for Russia, it won't happen to this extent. Unfortunately, Ukraine has its own problem. It's a huge country with lots of ethnic variety of Ukrainian people. These are all Ukrainian people, but lots of ethnic variety. And maybe if they started it as federation, not as one solid a nation, but federation, it might be better, because Western Ukrainian, Eastern Ukrainian, South Ukrainian, Northern Ukrainian are totally different ethnics, totally different people. Plus, most of the people were replaced by Soviet Union, by Stalin and his and other communist rulers were moving people around to do that. So, in my opinion, to stop the war, there must be peaceful soldiers from Europe. However, peacekeepers. However, who will risk their life to go to Ukraine to be peacekeepers? I don't think that it's that easy to do. And there's absolutely nothing now that can stop this war. This is my opinion. Although maybe maybe you think differently, so give me a shout, please. Write a comment. I would love to hear from you. Signing out for now, but I will see you soon.